family or other people that maybe had to stay behind or are having to take care of pets or people. I have 5 little ones that are at home, and so I just wanted to say that for all of you and all the people that are supporting you so that you can be here, let's just have a huge round of applause if we could. Round of applause. Woohoo! Yeah, for all the people supporting us. And then also, I just want to do one last shout out, and that is for everybody who's at home on the live stream. Sincerely, thank you. It's the reps in the field that make it possible for all of us to be here, and none of us would be here without the support of our team. So huge round of applause for everybody at home. Truly, thank you. Thank you for being here. So this is exciting. Oh my gosh. Like I was looking right over the top of your head there, Mike. It's good to see you, man. How are you? Good. This is good stuff. So my name is William Wood, and for those of you who don't know me, I'm Dave's older brother, but not only am I his older brother, I am an international trainer of NLP and hypnosis. In fact, I've just been on an international training tour right now, right before I got here. So I specialize in helping people do individual breakthrough work. Some of you have been able to work with me one-on-one. Some of you have seen me train in a group. And the reason that I'm here is to bring a mindset component to what we've got here, because what all of you bring is you bring an incredible expertise. There isn't a person that made it into this room without having a massive expertise already in marketing, and you bring something important to what we have going on here. What I have to add is I have to add lots of experience. I've worked with more than 5,000 people all over the planet. I've trained in several countries and all over the United States. And I'm going to bring my depth of experience into what we have today so that we just have an incredible experience. Because our number one goal is that by the time that we leave, that we all have a breakthrough, not only in terms of knowledge, not only in terms of connections, but that truly our minds and our hearts change. I measure what I do by one thing, and that is, are there people involved, and can I help people with their hearts and with their minds? And so truly what I hope to bring to everyone this weekend is a major, major breakthrough. So raise your hand if you're ready for a breakthrough. Yeah. Woo! Yeah, that's right. We're all ready to take things to the next level. We're all ready to really take our lives just exactly where we want to go. And the reality is that whether you've come here live or whether you are now watching this on the live stream, that each of you has a reason for being here today. Each of you has brought your own set of struggles. Each of you has brought your own set of accomplishments. And each of you has really brought your own set of experiences into what is Empower Network. And so we say, welcome. Welcome. Here we are. We are ready to take it to the next level. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about Dave. So can I just start by sharing some inside scoop? Is that all right? Yeah. Okay. Right. So yeah, I know, the juicy stuff just as we're getting started. Dave, when Dave talks about being homeless, sometimes I think that there's a disconnect because people haven't actually seen that. All they see is they see the successful Dave. And because I'm his brother, I saw him go through his own process. I watched him flunk out of college. I watched him come back from an LDS mission and be homeless. In fact, right when he came back, he lived in my living room for a while because he didn't have a place to live. And so it was me and at the time 3 kids and Dave hanging out in the living room, right? And my wife still loves him, which is amazing, right? And of course I am the one that's responsible for recruiting him into Amway, right? So yeah, I just want to say thank you. Yeah, thank you. And that's why they brought a whiteboard out and Dave hasn't come down yet, is because we're actually all getting an Amway today, right? Yeah, it's going to be awesome, right? I'll be spinning circles, right? Selling a little SA8. Yeah, isn't that awesome? Yeah. So it's going to be a good time. But Dave and I we'd get together, we'd put on the suits, and I was doing the Walmart training. I'm all right, you see that guy over there? He's super sharp. Him, together. I mean, we do stupid stuff together. Really, neither of us knew what we were doing, but we were both really excited. And one thing led to another. But truly, there's a reason that I'm here. If I didn't believe in the mission of Empower Network, I couldn't be here. That's the way I work. I'm a mission-driven guy. I was a corporate guy. I have an MBA. I worked in the corporate world in marketing for a long time. I did well. I was good at what I did. I hated it, right? And I liked the company. I liked the people I worked with. It just my heart wasn't in it. It was like part of me felt like it was dying as I was there. And so for me today, if my heart's not there, I can't go there. And so the very fact that I'm standing here, I'm just telling you that my heart's in it. And the reason that my heart can be in it is because I know my brother as well as I know any other living human being. And this is a true story. I know Dave very, very well. And I've seen him through his downs and through his ups. I saw him when he was literally penniless and I was providing for his shelter and for his food. And I also saw him go through the ups and downs struggles of getting a job and losing a job. I remember when he was hired finally in a job that paid him enough that he could get his own apartment. And there was this little job, there's a couple of them. One was with USAA, one was with this mortgage lending place. And I remember I helped him get the job at the mortgage lending place. I opened a door for him that led to one contact to another. And he got this job and it was like finally he was making like $35,000 a year. Right? And then he came to me and he's like, Will, I think I'm going to quit. I can't do this. And I'm like, Dave, you're never going to make it, man. You flunked out of college, and I was worried about him. And so I watched him go through all those developmental stages and then get his job, working, just barely making enough money to survive in Hawaii, lose that job and have to move back in at my parents' house. And I watched him move out of that into his first real big breakthrough. And so I want to say that the transformation is real, the stories are real, and there's more to his character than that. Can I tell you just a little bit about his character? Yes. Yeah. When he was in this stage, when he was living in Arizona, and I think he had just moved out of our house into an apartment. He'd gotten some job that he hated that was barely paying the bills. And I brought him up to Lake Powell. It was my mom, my brother Dave. I think my brother Mark Aki may have been there as well. I honestly can't remember. But I do remember that Dave was there. And the reason that I remember Dave was there is that my babies were all small. Now my oldest is 18 years old and she's applying to college. I can't even believe that. But in those times, I could hold my little ones in my arms. And some of you know what that's like, to have little ones that you still hold in your arms, right? And so I had my daughter Hannah, now 18, but then itty bitty, in my right arm, and I had my son Andrew in my left arm. And we had waded out into the lake. And it was a hot summer's day. It must have been 100 degrees plus outside. And I was walking along with Dave and my mom, and all of a sudden, the ground just cut away from me. And I had a child in each arm, and I went under the water. And without a hesitation, it was Dave who went into the water and grabbed a hold of me and helped me swim my babies out of the deep. And so literally we're talking about a man who not only metaphorically but literally not only saved my life but my baby's life, because I couldn't swim with a child in each arm. And so he's responsible for saving my life. Now, I don't think it was quite as near death as Justin's story, but this is a man who on more than one occasion has without thought risked his life to save those around him. And we come from a family that has a strong ethic and value. I also get to watch a lot of what happens behind the scenes. I see a lot of things that other people don't see. I don't see everything, but I see how he literally is constantly working to improve the processes and the internal strategies of the company to make sure that things work. There have been a few speed bumps. Right? Or can we be honest about that? Like right away? Okay, raise your hand if you've noticed that there's been a few speed bumps. Come on. Like we are in a no BS zone right here, right? It's like there have been a few speed bumps along the way and some of the processes that haven't always worked right, and yet I know that his heart is for the new person. His heart is to reach down and to pull us out of the deep and to bring us to safety, because there's a reason that this company was formed and there's a reason that we're all here. And the reality is we could all be somewhere else, right? This is a successful room. And so my brother is the man of the hour. He is the one who launched the vision of the company, and he's the man who not only is responsible for Empower Network, but he's responsible for the vision that's going to pull us forward to the next level. So with a huge round of applause, let's welcome up Dave. listening.
So what are we talking about?
We just finished telling about Lake Powell.
Oh, you're telling. I don't actually even remember that.
Yeah.
So apparently I've saved more than one person from drowning.
Yeah.
I read this is a pattern I repeat.
Yeah.
I don't actually remember that one either, but I've seen the video. No, I'm joking. Guys, I'm excited, and so we really wanted to do this event because we haven't done something with the leadership in a long time, and that's actually how it originally came up. Is that we've done a lot of big events, and the last time that we gathered together with a core group was really in Costa Rica in like 2012. Or 2000, was that 2012?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So that's like 3 years or 4 years. And then we've done little things with the Leadership Council. Like we've gotten together with the Leadership Council in Miami. But we really haven't done anything like this ever. And so I'm excited about this. And I've got like a lot of my own intentions for the weekend on things that I want to help you guys accomplish. I think that we need a little bit of a realignment as a community, right? And I've got some ideas that will really help you guys break through. I mean, we've got people here from all over the world, which I think is cool, especially in a small room. We've got people all over the world watching, too. Thank you for tuning in, those of you who bought the live stream with me. I'm actually curious in this room, I don't know if you did this already, but which countries do we have represented in this room? I know we have the United States.
Israel. Canada.
Huh?
Israel.
Canada. Israel. Portugal.
Yeah.
Portugal. Romania. Puerto Rico. Where else?
Fort Lauderdale.
Huh? Fort Lauderdale. Those of you who are online, go ahead and write your country, what country you're tuned in from.
We'd love to hear where you're from.
So we have, what was the last one? Puerto Rico. What else? Where else do we have? Anywhere? Israel.
Yeah, Israel.
I didn't even know you live in Israel. You live in Israel?
Yeah.
Man, you travel a long ways to get to the events.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
super
I was actually at an event once in 2006 where there was a group of people. There was 1,000 people that came from Israel. Just from one country to Agile Enterprises, right? And those guys partied till like 5 in the morning. They like when everyone else was exhausted, they just started the Jewish party began. They bought the drums out, they were all dancing. I was like, are they still going? And then eventually they ended up kicking all of them out, and they're like, what do you mean? It's only 3 in the morning, So what we want to do though is we want to lay in some ground rules kind of for this event. Because for those of you who are here, we really want to create an environment that helps you guys create what you want. All right. For those of you who are on the internet too, we want this to be a safe environment for you. And so, just a couple of things that I've got to share. Okay, I'm going to be like totally transparent about everything this weekend. I'm personally just sick of bullshit. You know what I mean? And so, if I think something,
Let's hear a round of applause for that, actually.
Yeah, I mean. No, there's not going to be any pink elephants in the room. I'm not going to hide anything that's going on inside of Empower Network. We're going to address things that maybe we wouldn't do in a bigger environment. But I want you guys also to feel safe in sharing what's on your mind and heart. Okay, you're the leaders, like both on camera and off camera, right? None of your thoughts, none of your feedback is going to be criticized here. Okay, so if you've got suggestions, if you've got thoughts, ideas in Portugal, ideas for making our process better, for making the company prosper more, I want you to know, first of all, me and the staff are all open,
right.
But also that this event is here to actually address concerns, right, and actually help you resolve issues that you've got.
So just for a moment, we're pledging on our end just to respect you as you share ideas. But it's more than just a one-way respect. We need respect from the room, and also, more importantly than from the room towards the front of the room, to your peers, right? So for those of you that are willing to commit to a high level of respect for everybody in the room, we'd like to actually see it. Raise the hand, okay? And that means that even if you think that the guy next to you is full of crap, right, you got to hear him out for a minute, right? I know, what the heck, right? Now, if you think we're full of crap, just hang out for a minute with us, be patient, then you can call us out on it, right? And that's cool too.
Yeah. So we respect each other. I want everybody here to be willing to be transparent, okay? And because if you're not, we can't help you. You know what I mean? And that's something that I've just picked up on in running an organization. A lot of times somebody has a problem. I don't even know what it is. And I know, granted, I'm probably the biggest pain in the ass to get a hold of all people in the universe, right? Other than some dead people, But But
Well, at least you can go to a psychic and get a hold of dead people.
yeah, yeah, the psychic knows where they are. Well, actually, you could try that with me too. It might work. Or the psychic could, I suppose, make something up. That's probably what they do most of the time. But seriously, I want you guys to know that, like, if I don't know what your issues are, right, I can't help. Right? If the Leadership Council doesn't know what you guys are thinking and feeling, we can't help. And so if you guys have concerns about something, if you have ideas for something, if you're a little wigged out about something that happened in your organization, we know we've had some strange things happen over in Portugal there, right? Let's bring it up and let's not have any pink elephants in the room, all right? Because actually, I don't know where a pink elephant could fit in this room, although there is a monkey right there. That is really cool, by the way.
That's like super cool.
Yeah.
My marketing manager.
Yeah. I actually want to buy something right now from your monkey. And so let's be transparent. I'll be transparent. We want you guys to be okay being transparent too. That cool with everybody in here? You guys cool with that? All right, give yourselves a hand.
Yeah, here.
On the audience too. And the other thing, let's commit to play all out here, all right? So we have the event that's in the live stream. We also have kind of the event after the event for those of you who are in the room where we can hang out. And I'm cool hanging out as long as we need to talk about stuff to help you guys in the way that you need to be helped. My brother's here. He's been doing hypnosis work and personal transformation work for a long time. If you guys have any sort of personal issues or something like that, and he has time, maybe he could do some work with you on that as well. We're here to help you. Okay? That's what I'm here to do. It's what the Leadership Council is here to do. And everything this weekend is designed to help you guys to get back on track in getting the results that you want. And really, if we're here to do anything, to reorient all of Empower Network back towards the vision and the aim and the future that we've got. Okay, so let's set some outcomes here for a few minutes. And so rather than just
I got a couple more just I think ground rules that would help out a lot. One is that we have a big room and we've got cameras, and so communication devices, big deal. I mean, we totally respect that you may have kids or pets or something that need tending to, but it's going to be super distracting for our folks in the live stream if we have people pulling out a lot of laptops randomly or surfing Facebook. So if you got to do something, we totally respect it, but we're going to actually ask you to step out of the main room to do that. Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's just respecting our folks back at home that have spent their money. That way they're not looking over your shoulder into your Facebook account, and trying to figure out oh look, he's chatting with his ex-girlfriend. What's that all about, right? So does his wife know? That's what we really need to know. So anyway, I think communication devices is a huge one, and then what we want to know for ground rules is we want to make sure that the mastermind is super successful. So before we move past the order and safety piece, is there anything that we have forgot about, right? Any rules that we need to put out on the table right away?
Anything for you guys? Any thoughts?
Okay, if something comes up, just raise your hand, and we can always make an amendment to the rules later on. This is an open constitution, right? And we want to make sure that we're providing the environment that you need, and certainly anything that I can do to help out, more than happy to do it. So into outcomes now.
Yeah, into outcomes. So before I get into talking about why, what my intentions are for the weekend, because I've got intentions obviously as well. What would you guys like to accomplish? Where if you accomplish at this event, it will make it the most successful event you've ever been through. That's what I'd like to think about out loud with you guys for a minute. And so just as you're thinking, go ahead and raise your hand and shout it out, and we'll repeat it.
The personal connection.
Do we have microphones? Because it's not going to pick up on the...
Can we get a microphone runner or two?
Right in the back there?
Yep.
Yep, and
If you could just run the microphone.
Raise your hand and we'll grab the next one of you.
All right, Mike? I don't know if it's on, but...
Can someone tell us if the mic's on? They're on? Okay.
Okay, just having that personal connection where you can actually intimately mastermind with whoever you connected with, and opening up new connections with people that personally we've never met but we've seen. So it's really exciting to get that connection and go from there.
So you'd like to have a connection with other people in the room?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Huge round of applause for him. Thank you. Who else? And by the way, live stream, we want to hear from you as well. What do you want from us? So be typing in your comments in the live stream, and we're going to have one of the staff maybe pull out several of those, and we'll add those on the list as well. Okay, I saw another hand.
Yeah, Darren Little here from Vancouver.
Hey, Darren.
I want to be able to leave here with a strategy that new people can be profitable the very first week. Like
Okay.
a brand new person, right? They've never been in the online. They've never done anything before. So for
Okay.
them to be able to make profit week one.
Okay. Give it a hand.
Profit for week 1.
Rui, how you doing, man?
How are you, Dave?
Doing great.
I would like to live here with complete clarity about the business model and how to set up a business plan or a plan of action for the team.
Okay, so clarity and a business
Clarity,
plan.
yes.
But clarity is the big
Clarity,
thing for you.
clarity, yes.
Is that right?
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay, we have a couple that start up front, and then we'll go to the back. Right here, from Puerto Rico.
Hey Dave, I'm Jaime or Jamie from Puerto Rico, and I represent the Latino community. And I would like to ask for us to have more tools, and I'm able to help you too, guys, if you need anything from me, because I'm a leader of a big community, and we want to grow. We have a big team in Puerto Rico and in all South America, so we really love this community, and we really need more tools and some stuff in Spanish. Okay.
Okay.
So we develop a lot of tools, like pages, trainings, all in Spanish from our side. So we would like to have a little more help from your side. That would be awesome because our community is growing faster and faster every day.
Okay. Great. So create tools for the Spanish markets.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Round of applause. Okay. And in the back.
I'm Vitaly Dubirin from Israel, and I would love to learn how to become diamond, and I would love to also learn how to help my team become more successful, so I'll see much more success on my team, creating the results that they want and changing their lives. So that's what I want.
How to become diamond. All right. And he's getting a workout. You're doing a great job, man.
He can run fast.
He can.
Kevin Souza from Louisville, Kentucky.
Hey, Kevin.
My wife, Kim. And I would love to see an alignment between the entire Empower Network affiliate organization and the entire Leadership Council of Empower Network. An alignment so that we all are on the same page, not just Leadership Council affiliate force, but an alignment between the two.
Okay, so more alignment with the leadership
Correct.
is what you'd like to see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. And actually, can you pass him the microphone real quick? I just want to clarify. Does that mean, Kevin, that you feel like there's something is misaligned right now? Or like we need a chiropractic adjustment or something like that?
No, I don't think that there's a misalignment. I just think that there are probably things that the affiliate force needs to know with respect to the vision of the leadership of Empower Network in order for that alignment to really have a full impact within the whole company.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Again, let's give him a round of applause. Let's pop back over here. We got some questions. I think we got questions from the live stream, so thank you guys.
Yeah, all right. So some of the questions coming in from the live stream are very much like what you have in the room. Uriah Hawkins says he's looking for help in reaching Boss Maker. James Forrest is asking he'd like to learn how to be more influential.
Oh, hang on, let's slow down. So we've got Boss and Boss Maker, so early ranks, right? Early rank advancement. And then what was the second one?
How to be more influential.
How to be more influential.
And we have Bridget asking how to make meaningful connections with new leads.
How to make meaningful connections with new leads, and we're seeing some heads nodding here in the audience as well. Okay, thank you to the live stream folks.
Aaron Rashkin for who are you?
Well, I guess let's pop over here first, and then we'll pop back over to Aaron, and then Tracy. And Tracy, I can see you this time.
Well, after it's done,
I
just pass it
know.
to Tracy. No, you first. It's fine, but just when you're done.
For everybody watching at Kevin Connect, Kevin and Melissa Connect, and this weekend, I hope that everybody watching this live stream will be able to go home, well, from home, be able to really tap into their inner greatness that we all have, that I think along the way, a lot of us forget about in this day and age. We're too busy being busy, and to really connect on this weekend and to really realize that we're all so powerful.
That we're all powerful. Thank you.
Tracy Walker, and what I would like to have accomplished is a way that we can communicate to a newer person getting started a clear, concise way to start earning a residual that will sustain them in our model.
Okay. So a new person taking them to residual income that will sustain.
Correct. A path, and then what they need to do to maintain that.
And what they need to do to maintain it.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. Round of applause. Over here to Aaron. Thanks for your patience, Aaron.
Hey everybody, Aaron Rashkin, Colorado, Denver, right here. So my intention, one of the intentions I like to set for the weekend is that very much like along the lines of what Tracy said, what Darren said, I think there was a few other people that mentioned this, about giving a new person in bite-sized chunks the exact strategies that they could start implementing immediately along the lines of skill set. So, for example, how do they use their Facebook account? Not just running Facebook PPC, but how do they approach somebody when they chat with them in Messenger? How do they post, value creating or, content or content-rich or value-rich content, that was a tongue twister, value-rich content so that they get people looking at them and they can create this fan base and this audience of friends, fans, and followers so that they have influence. And giving people ideas using the resources that they're familiar with but don't quite know the right way to approach their markets and how to reduce the tension and increase the cooperation and don't go out there and look like a total buffoon when they start marketing for the first time. I think that is probably one of the biggest challenges is we get a lot of brand new people to the internet. Now, of course, leaders know how to do it, but there are a lot of 98% of the people in the business that are coming in are fresh and they don't understand how to use their existing skill set and leverage that to create a quick result so that they can start getting results in their first week, right there. And that's what we talked about, first week profit, right? I mean, if you hand somebody the keys to a new car and they haven't been taught how to use the drive, and the stick shift and the gas and the brake, they're going to probably crash. Yeah. And we can avoid that, right? It's a lot easier to prevent the mess than clean it up. So if we can get those steps laid out so that a brand new person coming in doesn't feel overwhelmed, and we know they're going to feel overwhelmed, but if we give them a little bit each day and they have a set lesson in a linear fashion, there's no way there's no way for them to fail when we've already won. We just have to teach them the basics that we all do.
So like a daily bite-sized pathway to the skills they need to build influence.
Yeah, the very basics.
The
ground rules of how to engage for their business.
Okay. Thank you.
Great.
Thanks, Aaron. Everybody. Rob Skinner, Kimberly Skinner, right just north of here in Orlando, Kissimmee. Everything that everybody said, the new person, I think, is the key to all of us. Kim and I have been doing this a long, long time, and we've been doing it the old school way. We've done it the old school way here because I can't figure out what y'all are doing.
Well, it's a secret.
And the secret's always been work, right? To me, that's how we made millions of dollars in the car business and everything else. We just work. And I'm not that smart, but I'm pretty tenacious. And Kimberly, carries the wealth of knowledge in our team, and we want to be able to walk away from here with a couple of kind of selfish things. Now, I don't mind saying this because you said to be open. Yeah. We want to leave here with a sense of partnership between us, something that we've never been able to experience before. I've always been the boss in the car business. You had to have a boss. I was it. The buck stopped with me. Good, bad, whatever. In this business, I think this is the place. And I want when we leave here, everybody knows my flag's buried pretty deep in this company, right? I mean, I'm not going anywhere. I've made that very clear. I want when we leave here somebody in China's butt to be raw. It's buried so deep. That's how far my flag is, right? It's so far. But I want... Did I just sound like Dave Wood for a second?
I want to pull out my credit card and just buy something.
But for some reason, we have literally failed with the people that we have brought into this community to lend that same covenant to. You know, they don't walk away with the same drowning man's desire to do whatever it takes. I mean, I literally will tell people, I will crawl through the barbed wire with you, through the broken glass, and I get no takers. So I'm failing in leadership. I probably need you really badly. I have a lot of fears. Being 56 years old and going broke and starting over, sometimes I wonder if we even deserve the wealth. Maybe that's why I've lost it 3 times. I don't know. I want to be able to walk away from here knowing that what we're doing is making a difference, a solid difference with people, and that we deserve what we've earned, and we get to keep it this time, and we get to help more people with it. You know, I had an amazing weekend with Justin last week, and I think we made some inroads on a lot of things, and I'm getting closer. But most people aren't willing to suffer 6 months of doing what I've done to get there. They're just not. And they quit. And I want to figure that out. I want to help people feel like they don't have to quit on themselves. I want to be better as being a leader, I guess. So this isn't a business I get to do it myself.
So can I clarify real quick?
Sure.
So we've got, I
hope you can, because I'm really confused about what
You're doing awesome.
That's why I have a monkey.
You have a monkey. Give him a hand for the monkey.
That's right. Woo! Yeah. So I heard leadership.
Yes.
I heard dealing with limiting beliefs. Let's be honest for a minute.
Absolutely.
Who else has like leadership stuff? Raise your hand periodically. Okay, there we go. Who else has limiting beliefs? Stuff playing in your head or your heart that gets you hung up? Okay. If you're on live stream, we want to hear from you too. If you've got either of those things going on, please let us know. And those are the 2 things that I heard really clearly. Just for a moment, if you could, in like 1 sentence, summarize what else it was that you said.
I think Kimberly and I want to live a life of pure love, of charity, but I get poor people don't get to really, really make a difference in other poor people's lives. I get that. Yeah. And we've preached that for a long, long time. We've always... I'm sorry, I can't summarize. I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I really don't know. Love, I guess. I just want
love, how to motivate other people, something like that. Yeah.
I mean, we got a lot of people that do a lot of good things.
Yeah.
Just haven't quite cracked the code that is the dream.
Okay.
Sometimes it feels like we're preaching the nightmare, or preaching the dream and living the nightmare.
Okay.
So sorry, I'm just not as clear as I would like to be with you.
I think that's a good start. Thank you. Yeah. Huge round of applause for him. We've got a couple people. Let's just pass the mic right behind you, and then we'll pass the mic back over this way.
All right. Hi, I'm Desmond from Vancouver, British Columbia. Hey, Dave. So, I came from a business background similar to Rob as well. And I like to see more education for the brand new person coming in as well. I second what Darren was saying and what Aaron was saying. We got to help the brand new people get to profit. But we've also got to teach a little bit more of the business skills. I'm appalled when I talk to people that have been in for several years and they don't even know their break-even point. I'm like, how can you not know your break-even point if you don't know your numbers, right? Then if you don't know the score, how are you going to win a game? If you don't know what your opponents are getting, or you don't know what target to hit. So I think we need to really, people talk about something very simple, bite-sized chunks without getting too overcomplicated and overwhelming the new person, but give them some numbers, 6 to 10 leads per day. How do you get that? Are you guys filling up a checklist every day? I looked at the income disclaimer, right? And I get people tell me this all the time. They're like, it's like, what is it? 4% of people, never make more than $100. Well, that's because, only 4% of people that sign up in this business show up, right? I did a test in the Dream Team with Tracy. We have like 500 members, and we posted this thread, and we just asked people to come in for 30 seconds every day and just fill in a little bit of a number. What did you do today? and only 4% of the team actually did it consistently, right? So how can we help increase that number? What can we do to really drive that home? I mean, you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right? So I think I resonate with what Rob was saying. It's heartbreaking. We want to see people succeed, right? So, but is it a worthiness issue? Is it a leadership issue? I'll do anything, right? But I can't force other people to do that. So what can we do to solve that? Anyway, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Alex Zubarev. So we heard a lot of commonalities, guys. It seems like this is what I see in my business. A lot of people that come in this business really come from the employee mindset. So the biggest shift that person needs to make is to become an entrepreneur, right? So a lot of these underlying issues like clarity, like not knowing what to do, could be solved by just having a game plan. Like I think Darren mentioned 7 days. I think 7 days is not enough, especially if some person is part-time. So something maybe 14 days or 30-day game plan where we teach them every single day, hey, this is how you get domain from GoDaddy, right? This is how you forward that domain. Like technical stuff, that's where people get stuck forever, like most people, right? And they don't have any clarity because they don't know what they're doing. Right? But if they have something like a checklist every single day, it's like they're coming to a job and the boss tells them like, hey, this is what's expected from you, this is what you need to do. And they have those little accomplishments every single day that feeds the belief factor, right? They see they're progressing and they're gonna start scoring those goals like Aaron mentioned and Desmond, I think, as well. So having that game plan will solve a lot of those underlying issues. We had something similar on iPass, I believe. I don't remember, iPass 1. And the second thing is like outcome that I want to have after this weekend is to plug the holes in the funnel, upsells, fix those numbers like we had before and empower, because that's going to solve a lot of money issues and people will stick and they'll have that belief level go 10x. They're going to take more action. They're going to invest more in paid traffic if they know that for every $1 they spend, they're going to get $2 back on the low end, right? So that's the outcome that I want to have after this weekend. Thanks.
Thank you. Over here?
Over here.
Sorry.
Kimberly Skinner.
Right here.
Right here. Monkey domination.
Hi there, Kimberly Skinner, also from Florida, coincidentally enough. And my desired outcome is to be able to turn up the volume on the it's worth it factor for the new people coming in. I like the P90X analogy I think you make in Top Producer, Dave, where you're talking about like, they say it right in the commercial, don't get this thing if you're not ready to do something that's going to hurt a bit. But your desired outcome is absolutely attainable. And so I've failed to, clearly communicate that to the new people that, it's going to hurt a little bit, but it's totally worth it. So I'd like that clear messaging that I can, project.
We're going to hurt you.
To the marketplace.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'd like to be able to say
like
that
our
in the
inner
nicest
Jillian
way.
is coming out, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, it's fine.
I think what I'm hearing, and I hope that this is like not outside the lines of the conversation, it's about setting proper expectations, because the expectation conditioning that we can do throughout the funnel and throughout the messaging will set it up so that when people come in, they don't leave so quickly because they didn't profit within 7 days. And as much as we want to see people profit within 7 days, sometimes the payoff has nothing to do with money. Right. It has a lot more to do with the way they feel, right? We say we come for the money, but we stay for the feeling, right? And then we start making the money. We come for the money and we stay for the money, right? But then when the money's not there anymore, the feeling has to be strong enough to overcompensate for the lack of money. And so I think what we have to do is set a proper expectation so that no matter what side of the funnel, whether it's front end or back end, right? Whether it's from the selling of the product and the opportunity from the front side versus going through the upsell process on the back, we have to lay down that proper expectation that, this is not easy, but it's worth it, right? And it's like coming like an old cliche, right? It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. Well, I think there's a way to do that, and I think if we're open to masterminding this, we can actually come up with a solution that's probably the most valuable to the people that are coming in for the first time, and they see that this is not going to be easy, but it is going to be worth it, and they'll stick around longer because the payoff will feel a lot more profitable to them before the money comes.
So proper expectation conditioning as people are moving through the funnel to set their frames right on what it's really going to take to succeed and all that process.
Yeah, well, it starts with the first exposure. So, maybe even on a lead capture page, we have some sort of a message that lets people know, don't put your email address in, which we know is an embedded command to put your email address in, right? I mean, we could sit and talk marketing for hours, but putting in the first message, don't enter or don't opt in unless you are serious enough to change your life. I mean, we got to let people know this is a life-changing and transformational business opportunity or a chance for them to change their lives. If we just talk, about the upside, right? And then when they experience a little bit of pushback from their family or their friends, or they get heckled on Facebook, or they're told that this is a pyramid scam or whatever they hear from the outside world. It's hard enough dealing with the outside world when you're building a business, but then you got the inside world. If we can condition them from the inside, then the outside doesn't make a difference.
Right.
Okay.
And it's interesting, Aaron. Just right before we came up here, we were talking about Maslow's hierarchy, right? Who here is familiar with Maslow's hierarchy, right? What's at the very, very base of the pyramid? We're talking about pyramids. This is awesome. Like we got there like right away. Like let's just cut to the chase. We are. Yeah, I am so excited. So, but what's right at the base of the pyramid there? Like physical needs, shelter, safety. If somebody's doesn't have like food and shelter, they're not going to be thinking about how to market on the internet, probably, right? What's the next rung up? Anybody know? Safety and order, right? And how is it that when we bring somebody in, that not only do they know that they're safe, that we have got their back, but there's also an order, there's a process that they can run through to get to where they're going. What comes after that? Belonging, right? The basic psychological needs of a human being don't run to achievement right away, right? They run, am I fed and sheltered? Is there safety and order? Am I connected?
The payoff that I was referring to.
Am I connected to a team, a vision, a people?
Yeah.
And then what's the next thing? Achievement. Right? And so if we're not laying the fundamental needs of our people, we're doing a disservice. And there has to be that kind of order and safety for how do we get them from where they are to where they need to be, and then also how do we connect them back in to the global vision, and then how do we connect them in to you and me.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. Good
Back
stuff.
to Darren.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kevin Souza again. Just as a follow-up to what Aaron was talking about, there's kind of a fine line between those who feel like, wow, I'm doing well, I'm in something great, and those who feel like second-class citizens because they couldn't afford the inner circle or the top producer formula, the team builder, the mass influence. Lots of disconnect happens when someone who someone doesn't have the money to purchase the upgrades. There's a sense of them feeling like second-class citizens based upon some of the marketing material of, well, if you're not going to get at least this, I'm not going to work with you. That's subtle, it's powerful, that's posture, and it does work on a positive end with respect to getting people to pull out their credit card and buy. But on the other hand, lots of disconnect there, feeling like belonging, like you said, which was what, the third? That sense of belonging, it deteriorates there when someone feels like again, they're a second-class citizen if they're not purchasing all the products, which is what we all want everyone to do, as leaders and as business people, and as common sense to build our businesses. And I think a lot of attrition occurs because of that sense of, I feel like a second-class citizen because I can't afford, I can't really buy this product, so, well, I guess, and all of a sudden their self-image, which is probably there anyway, gets reconfirmed to them that they maybe don't belong, and that causes that attrition. It just adds to that attrition.
So how to pave a clear path for people to become a first-class citizen?
A sense of self-worth, whether you buy all the products or not, will help retain a few more people. I think even the leaders would agree with that. And so that's all I have to say about that.
Hang on, round of applause. Okay, we want to make sure we're acknowledging people. And also, if there's anybody else in the live stream that has any other needs, we want to make sure that we're attending to our virtual audience as well. So please, if you have anything else that you feel like, hey, I'm a rep, I'm new, or I've been around for a little while, and I've got a need, make sure you put that in, and then we'd like to have maybe Michelle bring a couple more of those out here in a minute. So,
I don't know, maybe I'm misreading you, Kevin, but probably not. Are you trying to send an unspoken message that we should probably lift people up more than kind of squash them down when they can't afford products? I want to get clear on what you're saying.
We don't necessarily consciously knock them down because they don't buy the products. It's an unconscious thing. In other words, it's an unspoken thing. There's a posture amongst leaders that say, well, if you're not buying the products, you're not really serious about your business, and there's some truth to that, but there's a fine line that it could go overboard and cause a person to feel less value.
Okay, so what I'm getting is that maybe we can, as a group, we can mastermind on how to raise somebody's level of consciousness and awareness about their own excuse making.
Right.
Because for the right opportunity, the right person always finds a way to come up with the money. And when you delicately put it that way, it doesn't strip people of their dignity.
Yeah.
We're not calling them names. We probably should look at that too. I said it for you. There's things that we could do as a community that would actually make people walk away from a conversation thinking about, holy crap, what did I just say no to? Or what did I just lose out on as far as an opportunity? And now give them the resources, or give them and we actually had a resource list where we would give people ideas on where they could actually fund their business. And if you remember Peter, right, Sorensen, he had 21 irrefutable laws of creatively financing your business or something like that, right? And something like that would be extremely helpful because people would get ideas on how to go out and create it. I mean, even just suggesting to somebody that they go on Craigslist and sell off whatever they have in their home that is just taking up space is a great way to get people to buy the inner circle versus calling them something that they probably don't feel good about, hearing, but it does confirm what they've been feeling all along. I get that. So thanks. And I hope that this kind of conversation is not taboo or out of the lines.
No, this is like nothing's
I think that this is what I came here for. I mean, I came here because I felt like I wanted to get clear on my own intentions, but I also felt like I had so much to contribute, far more than I was going to get. I wanted to give, and so that's what brought me here this week.
Yeah.
So thanks for having me.
Aaron, one of the main obstacles that keeps people from achievement in any arena. And for those of you that do coaching, I know there's some of you that do coaching with people. What's the number one thing that gets in somebody's way? It's like their head and their heart. And so there is a fine line between accepting somebody's excuse and putting somebody down, right? And where's the balance in a very ethical, upright, and also as a good coach to say, this is how you move forward. Let me help you pave a path through the obstacles that you have to face to get to where you want to go. I think this is a huge topic for anybody who's trying to succeed. Yeah. Good stuff.
Good
so
stuff.
Thank you guys.
I think Mike raised his hand back there.
Kind of off the subject, but kind of just going through what I'm thinking about. And one of the main things you mentioned in the Pat Patterson video I was watching recently, just about building. And we all hear build your business, build this, build or that. But the word building got me excited, and just building something got me really excited. And I mean, you know it's there, but when I heard that and it clicked with me, I was like, building. We're building something here. You know, I get to build something. And to me, that's exciting. So just wanted to share that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. If we could pass it over to Michelle for a minute, and it looks like you've got a couple of things from the live stream audience. We want to make sure that you guys are being tended to as well. So.
All right. So Belinda Bell is asking about getting traffic to her blog.
Traffic. Okay.
Let's see. Bob Nevin asks for help with how to write good, valuable takeaways to offer people visiting his blog. So blog content. And then a question from Danny Gray. How can I raise my belief in my ability to hit silver, and how do I fully believe in myself?
Okay, belief in self. Yeah. Thank you. Round of applause for the virtual audience. Okay, and I saw some hands go up. Okay, we got microphone in the back.
Hi, I'm Darvini from the Florida Keys. And my question is, on a real basic level, on an entry level, when they enter, there's different generations entering. Like if you're real young, you're very techie, but if you're my age, you're not techie. So the people that are my avatars that I'm attracting are people that are not so knowledgeable with technology, and sometimes they might want to talk to a real person. And it's hard sometimes to get someone on the phone in EN, and they're not used to maybe always, like maybe they have a problem with their API number, or they have a problem with connecting that. And as a mentor, you can do and help them with a lot of that, but sometimes they want to talk to someone at EN, and sometimes I don't know. Instead of just waiting for an email to come back, maybe someone who's live on email that you can go back and forth, or on chat, or someone that you can actually talk to on the phone. I don't know if that's a possibility or not.
Okay.
So you're asking about strategies for talking to people on the phone, or
No, what I'm saying is that sometimes someone has a question and they can't wait for the email. Sometimes it's taken 4 or 5 days to get an email back for when you have a question, a tech question from the end. So sometimes maybe a live chat, if you can't get someone on the phone, a live chat that someone helps you right then. You have a question and there's someone on the other end answering the question right back instead of having to wait for an email.
Yes, live chat.
Yeah, live chat with screen share.
Just so you guys know as well, and this is jumping ahead of myself a little bit, but the new Uline widget we have also has chat in there. So there's group chats that you could participate in the Uline widget. A lot of people don't know that, but we haven't really covered it. So give her a hand.
Yeah, thank you.
Darren Little here again from Vancouver. Dave, I know that you and I chatted a little bit about this, but if the company actually had a blog that had content on it and people could register, put their list in with their social media things, and literally as soon as they started, they would have content, and all they would have to do is just get viewers to that or use that, and they'd instantly have content. I think that would make like a massive difference to this company, like huge difference. Okay, that's one thing. The other thing is, I really believe that the saying of put down the phone, pick up the paycheck, blah, 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 I think that's, honestly, it's got to go, because I don't believe that a brand new person with no tech skills can make an income unless they pick up the phone. They got to talk to their contacts. They have to. We have to be able to teach both old school and technology strategies to get this company into momentum. That's my feeling on it.
I'll be holding a Walmart strategy session like later on today, since I am like the resident expert.
Actually, we're all going to go out to Walmart together in a limo bus.
I'm not talking guys. I'm not talking Walmart.
I'm teasing. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that.
No, but hear me out here. Rob is a great example of this.
Yeah.
Because he is here.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Am I right? Guys, am I right about that or not?
You're right. Yeah.
Rob is an old school guy.
Yep.
And he's a top leader. And he's here.
Yeah. Kevin too.
So that's got to say a lot, that we're literally missing out on a ginormous market of network marketers, old schoolers, because part of our culture saying is put down the phone and pick up the paycheck. Well, what about all the guys that are really good on the phones and that's all they do, like Rob, right?
Yeah.
You know, I think that if there was some way to bridge that a little bit better to, you know, in the beginning when you launch a business, you got to frickin' do everything in your power with every contact that you have that has influence in order to get your business into momentum. Bottom line, right? And I know that when I first started in Empower Network, you know, I basically was using just the blog and the inner circle, right? So that's the lower end, right? But I was showing people how, with a small team, they could create a marketing and advertising budget. So that's all they were thinking about in their mind. If I get this little team, I can have a marketing and advertising budget from business every month. And it really worked, like on the low level, right? But I had to communicate with those people. Couldn't depend on just my blog or just videos. It was actual, I had to talk to people. I had to have communication with people. I had to build rapport and learn how to get a connection with those people, right? From the heart, like heart to heart. Tell me about what's happening in your life and listen. Because if there's not that type of communication, you can't help a person solve their problem if you don't know what their problem is, right? Everybody's going to have a different problem, right? So how can you find out a person's problem, right, without having a conversation? I don't know. Maybe there's some, you know. But I'm talking about the brand new person. So what if they don't have the top producer from them? Anyway, you get my point, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Give him a hand. And,